Okay, the final game of the evening for our quality time Netrunner night, 13th of May. So we've got Ollie on the left playing new Shaper Hotness, Haylet Kaplan, and myself, Jonny, on the right playing Near Earth Hub. So this is the very last game, and so far I am unbeaten, so we're hoping to finish the night on a high. Won quite a few games and had a few sort of games that went to time as a draw. I think we're both happy with our hands. I'm going straight in, install a remote, grab a card. And yeah, so Ollie was trying the Jinteki Biotech and also trying the new Shaper ID. So he's all about the new cards. He's been gushing for Haylet these last few weeks, and he's very happy to have her. Diesel off the bat. I got the two remotes. Diesel, short gamble. And Replicator, turn 1 Replicator.
Do you want to get another replicator? You can trigger itself.
And I'm just reminding Ollie there that when you install the Replicator, it can replicate itself. You can go get Replicator. So he's just going to grab the Replicator and also the Cyber Feeder. Which, so grab those both and do a shuffle, that's fine. Obviously using Haylet's ability to install a Cyber Feeder without requiring the click.
He's running this all scorch, sort of spiky UFO. A scorch followed by a traffic. Yep, fair enough. That'll do it, yeah. Well, I think I was up to like 5 tags by the time we got me, so I just kept running for the day room. I was like, solid, just keep going. I knew I was against it. I got like 3 R&D interface out. Yeah. And the cheap as well, so I used modded. Replicator got them into my hand fast. Yeah, well, I was seeing cards, but I could see my death coming. I saw it.
Okay, so a good shuffle. And yeah, I'm gonna do the cut.
So Diesel, short gamble, yeah, so Replicator, have paid for that, and Cyber Feeder.
Okay, I think just taking some money, right?
Yes, it's the first time.
Oh no, we're just grabbing some counters with which to count clicks. And a personal workshop, so looks like a pretty good start for Haylet there. So the Replicator will help get that hardware out quickly. Personal workshop obviously for programs, and then she can get to install things on the corpse turn, because her ability is every turn, not just her own. Myself, I've got a res to pad, doing a remote, drawing a card. Yeah, and sweeping for +4 credits.
I'll draw.
And just drawing last click, so like to be up to the full hand size. I might have at least one agenda in hand, so always like to keep the agenda density in hand down, but there's always a danger drawing last click that you draw a second agenda. Okay, and Ollie's installing the R&D interface, or hosting the R&D interface onto the workshop.
If it comes to it, I can always swap it out, right?
And he's going to check the new remote, and it's NEPD. And he has exactly 4 credits, so yeah, somewhat happy to let him have that. I think it'd be I'd quite like to have the NEPD face down and score it with the help of an Astro token, but that's fine. NEPD. We're running R&D, so I'll res the wraparound, and you can bounce off. And Ollie just discards that extra replicator. He's not going to need that.
I'll install card. I'll install.
So, getting quite a few new remotes and putting something over HQ. So, economy slowly dripping in by pads. Okay, taking some credits. Needs to discard. Not a very exciting turn. Ooh, I'm getting rid of a modded. I think that was an inside man. So collecting one off the pad, drawing, and I think that is a snare. Yes. So there's the turtlebacks. So one credit and one card. It's just time just to keep going, right? So a new second new remote. Grab me one, thanks to you turtlebacks. And just taking one. Didn't feel like installing the snare. Sometimes it's good as remote. I'll sometimes run it, but always good to protect HQ. So drawing, and Haylet seems to be in a bit of a econ slump at the moment. So that was a draw, and taking two. I think Ollie has to discard. Oh, so we've got another replicator. And another modded. Oh, wow. Getting one off the pad. And I think I've just drawn into closed accounts. So, new remote. So one and a card. I think that's the toll booth going over R&D. Expect some, well, the R&D interface is on the workshop. There'll probably be more coming along later, so let's have to put the toll booth over R&D, make it a bit of hard work.
See that like side of my face. Okay, Thursday, I'm going to click for one. Yep. Yeah, indeed. Second click, I'm going to sure gamble.
Sure gamble. So clicking for one.
30 minutes.
And sure gamble.
Okay, that's you're about halfway, so that's not so bad. Yeah, that's right.
And installing the self mod, and that allows Haylet to also install the study guide. So fancy decoder for breaking code gates. So it just slowly increases strength over time. Pay to put power counters on it. So we'll see how that goes. And running HQ, and yeah, we'll do a pop-up. Game one, and we'll show him 4 cards. And that's Jackson. And I think he's got 5 credits, but kind of wants to keep them. So take one off the pad. And got some nice credits there. So I'm wondering if I would be bold enough to try and score something. He has got the SMC, so I'm not sure if Haylet is running Clot. Just working out exactly where everything is. Quite a few. Install it over that one. So I think that might be the Sansan server. And draw final click. Again, I'm doing that. That's Really should avoid doing that. That's potentially dangerous. Pop-up window is a token defense. A bit of a credit swing, but it's no good. So R&D interface is done in the workshop. It's been built. I believe you could use replicator to go find another one. And Nakamatsu chip again could also replicate that. Perhaps they're in hand. It seems weird that why you wouldn't.
Do you want to replicate that as well? Yeah, I want to replicate.
Oh, yeah, and I've kindly reminded Ollie that whenever you install, you can search your deck for another one, so he's just going to fish out the mem chip and the R&D interface.
It's a bit better, right? It is. Yeah. I do actually think it does work really well. Like shaping
So
one more like really good piece of hardware. I think this is a proper deck. Like at the moment, it's still a little bit. But we got anything mentioned on the. What about the? Aren't they doing some weird like cybernetics hardware? Yeah, the NetReady Eyes is pretty cool. Is that? That's the. What faction's that? I feel like Shannon. Is that Shape? Yeah, Shape. Yeah. Oh. Which is +1. Yeah, +1 strength when you declare.
okay, we're just having a quick chat about
Yeah, that's what I call it.
replicator and
Haylet. Chameleon.
chameleon. Yeah.
LDS, just slap those. Because it comes back to hand, doesn't it? You nominate the type. Run. Oh, and I've got strength 8 chameleon. It's like, I don't need to install 6 of them. Like, just go. Yeah. So did you replicate both of them? Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So replicate both. Checked and put them into hand. And probably want to get them put onto the workshop. So, R&D interface was pretty good, I say. Let's make another one in my workshop. Oh, and he's going HQ, so paying 1, I'll gain 1. And I got 5 cards. Oh, and yeah, I'm showing all the deck's colours to Ollie there. It's this deck, he says. Yep, so he saw a dedicated response team from HQ. I think there might be one in amongst the remote servers. So it's just a case of seeing some tag punishment. I don't think I've seen any of my data ravens yet. Start a turn, so I'm going to res the pad. Effectively, second pad is neutral, gets paid by the first one and itself, I guess. So at the moment it's 2 points to Ollie, 0 to myself, but it's looking okay. I think both of us are slowly building, and new card into that remote, and I'm just seeing what he says. So I'll spend 6 to res the Sansan.
So just click 1 install. That's why I'm pausing because I have no idea. So to click 1 install. Wait a minute.
Yeah, so here we are. We do the clock wait, and
You can do it now, or you can do after this one. No. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You hold on.
and yeah. So Ollie's going to pay to pop the the SMC to go get clot, and yeah, he is getting the clot. I think I did fear he'd be running the clot. Ollie does seem to like them running a lot of new cards. I think I put too good to be true.
Which would mean I'd be dead this turn.
So run it, take a tag, and we'll res some nasty, horrible tag punishment.
Okay. Well, that's all your money, isn't it? Okay. So install res. One sec. Sorry. I install the program. Oh yes, of course.
And yeah, that also triggers the Haylet goodness. So following the clot, Ollie plays a self-modifying code out of hand. So it's not worth me advancing the remote because I think he's going to try and come and steal it. So install new remote. I'll get 1 off the turtlebacks, and that's my first one. So I'll First new remote, so I'll draw a card as well.
I'll just take one.
And take one. So I think I've got some Day Ravens in there. And I believe it's an Eli. So right now, even though he's broke, he could actually chance the remote. So he's taking free and running. So I'm gonna pay free and rest the Eli.
Just go first.
So yeah, as it says, could have run first click and happily clicked through to score that. Now he can't, and unfortunately, 3 credits isn't enough to presumably go off and get the lady. So he's gonna have to bounce. So get 2 off the pad. Money's starting to roll in very nicely. So install another remote. Collect 1 and a card. And then advance for the too good to be true. Oh no, it was a Beal, sorry, it was a Beal. I thought I might have done a too good to be true to
Over to you.
thinking, well, if he brings out the clot, he can have a tag. But no, a Beal, so I'll happily take 2 points to tie the game. And then I've got a San sitting there, threatening more agenda scores. Obviously, I have to deal with the clot. I can't just drop the Astro. Clot will prevent me from scoring, so we might be looking at a Purge, which again would be an indicator to say I'm ready to, or looking to install another agenda.
Oh, okay, yes, Zero. Yeah, I'll take one and make a bunch of cards for you.
Yeah, runs HQ, sees a Data Raven. You'll probably see more of that later. And then also running HQ. Sorry, not HQ, R&D. So that's a toll booth, so don't think I'm interested in resin, but no, he'll bounce. I think he was just trying to try and force the res, but okay with that. I've got to check where it is. Let's manage to draw. I think I've got a turtlebacks there. So do we go for a purge now?
I'm going to install that guy there.
Install. Collect 1 and a card. And I think that's a too good to be true. So I'm starting to look at those old remotes as well now. Install, I think that's the Day Raven. Install that for 1. And that's a 3rd rung, and again that earns me 1 off the turtlebacks. So lots of remotes, lots of money. You can't look at them all, perhaps you should. Don't know. There's bound to be some goodies behind them. Oh yeah, and installing the membership. I'm going to replicate it to get the 3rd copy. Okay, so the membership's given the boost in memory, just so Haylet is not prevented from installing all the lovely programs.
There's no Jinteki over there, is there? Install, go, go. So you're doing the hardware. Haylet install.
Oh, so yeah, giving Ollie the option to do the Haylet install, but he doesn't have enough money. Taking a credit. He's going to test run. And this is what I was saying. I think he actually goes to test run the magnum opus.
Oh, okay. Yep. It's got to that stage. Yeah, full tower Tasman.
Which means after the test run is complete, Magnum will go back on top of the deck. I think he needed the extra memory.
No, I wish I had a stamp. That'd be brilliant. I'm going to click it once and be sad.
Yeah, so 1 click left. So I believe he's going to click it for 2.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm aware. Click it once. Yep. And then it goes back on. Okay. I'll 2 off those pads. And yeah, you know what?
And yeah, so the new remote is a daily business show, so I'm going to do some daily business. And so I'm not sure if I'm digging, but the clot is still present, so I think I'm going to have to do a purge. Looks like Ollie isn't quite in position to sort out the Sansan. I've got like a single in turns to bring something like that back. And yeah, I'm actually going to do the turn and do a purge.
If I can find space for it, I would. Probably need to. Now, dig in.
Okay, and yeah, Ollie finishes working on the R&D interface and starts working on his magnum opus in his personal workshop. Okay, so yeah, I always find there's a bit of a conundrum with Haylet. It's like, well, she needs plenty of card draw to facilitate the installing of hardware, installing of programs, but then she also needs the money, the economy with which to do it. So while it might seem good, it does seem to struggle. I think getting that magnum opus out early is very important. So yeah, now the clot's gone, I'm going to install Vance. He does have the SMC. I'm wondering if he has a second version of the clot. And yeah, just scoring out the TGTBT to go to 3 points.
I think that's my favourite NBA agenda. Really? It's just so thematic, brilliant, and I love the effect. It's so good. Because it's like, NBA there should be a glacier attack, and that agenda is definitely going, it will happen. At some point, it will happen.
Okay, so yeah, spend my turn. Just scour out the 1-pointer, so I think it's the only other agenda I had in hand. If I had the Astro, I would have scored it. If even I had the Beal, I would have scored it. So, just happy to get that out of the way. Seems that Ollie's having issues with economy, such that they're trying to disrupt and delay him with tags isn't too critical. So I think we're just going to do our fast advance tomfoolery. Oh, actually, I think there is an Astro. So yeah, perhaps I was worried about the second clot in the deck. I believe. I believe there is only the one. So yeah, Ollie's installing telecast. Would you like to install a resource? A second resource? No, because he doesn't have any money.
I'm not sold on the cash economy in Haylet. I don't think it's just because it's so many more moving parts for not much more. Like PvP is better, like it's more, and there's less cards needed to set the dogmo up. So like, I feel cash
okay.
just eats that.
So
Cash is good.
game not going too well because we're just engaging in a bit of a chat about Haylet versus Kate. The sort of I think at this point I'd maybe played a couple of people on Octagon, and the setup when it gets rolling is incredibly fast, but it needs that economy. So they were using cash and ASOPs. He's running HQ. There's a Day Raven, and Ollie will happily bounce off. I'm okay with that too. Job done. Drawing. Okay, I'm passing the turn, so I've got... Oh, I'm forgetting about my daily business, so I've taken 2 off the pad, keeping that one and that one. And have we taken agenda? Have we got the money? I'd hope so. So I'm just going to touch those. Again, I'm going to let him pause, so he seems fine, just gives me the nod, go on. So that takes me up to 5 points, and I've scored the Astros, so it's now looking pretty good. Ollie's kind of stuttered a bit. I think he's going to pay to finish the magnum opus early. And yeah, I'm perhaps looking like I'm mocking a bit too much, because point out to Ollie that, yep, you've installed a program, you can install another program if you like. And he tells me politely where to go, because I haven't got any money, so leave it out. Yeah, so still pushes the magnum off the workshop and just clicks it for money. And do we have the game in hand? And I believe we do. Or do we not? I want to say there is an NAPD contract in one of those remotes. So just going to give Ollie the chance, just in case he wants to do a last minute clot. And yeah, so yeah, and I'll score out the second Astro. Ollie points out that actually I could get away with the first advance, and then I have priority to use the Astro token and then score before the runner gets priority. Also, I point out that the NEPD as well. And yeah, there were the 3 dedicated response teams, in case he was interested. But there you go, the end of the evening, and unbeaten. And I'm proud to say I finished top of the standings. I think this is actually the 14th Quality Time Netrunner night we've done, if my counting is to be believed. And it's the first one where I've actually come first, so very pleased, because this was a bit of a deck testing and sort of confirming if the decks were any good ahead of the Nationals at the Expo. And yeah, so seemed pretty good, so happy with that. Haylet, I think, is interesting, but I think she's come out quite recently, and I think we need a bit more time just to work out exactly how to make her work. And being a bit greedy with her ability means she eventually peters out, but no, very happy with that. And actually my first and only round out of 3 that didn't go to time. So there we go. So that's the end of the Quality Time Netrunner night for 13th of May. I guess look out for some more evenings coming soon. Take care.